Let's give them an update, shall we?
Let's do
What's
it.
that right there, Kay?
These are our raspberries that are bearing for the second time. They're ever bearing raspberries. So we're having some really nice, ripe, wine-colored berries that we can eat just like that. And in the meantime, we have a lot of blackberries, a kind of thick row here that many of us have enjoyed for the last 2 or 3 weeks, right?
So the blackberries are finishing, and now the second crop of raspberries are coming in.
Right.
And over here, where Mike is hiding, we have an interesting combination of okra in the front, and we've been cutting okra. It makes these beautiful flowers, and then these little tiny okras, which can get quite large if you miss them. But then behind them, we have pole beans growing up the fence to make use of all the space. And interesting, the pole beans here seem to have been protected by the okra, whereas our pole beans over there got devastated by rabbits. So that seems to be a combo that's worked quite well.
We found that little rabbits jump right through the fence very handily, and they like exploring our garden because we have so many good things to eat. And we're protecting them in certain places, protecting the vegetables, and in other places they beat us to it. Gail planted, 2 sets of bush beans and protected them with a mesh coating. Here you can see those are like a foot or 18 inches tall, and these got mowed down so they're only 6 inches tall.
By the rabbits.
By the rabbits.
Now we're trying to protect them more.
So she's rigged up a little blanket for them.
And I think when you made your last video, a group in this row was planting leeks. And right, David, wasn't that right?
Yeah.
I mean, Rob. And now you see how big some of the leeks have gotten. So in a couple weeks, maybe for a fall soup, we'll have some leek soup. And here, there was kale growing that kind of finished. We still got some kale down the end, but we removed that, and now Kay's getting it ready to plant a combo of, what are you gonna plant in there?
Beets and fennels, both golden beets, red beets, and fennel.
So we're trying to do more with what they call in gardening lingo succession planting, where you don't just plant your garden in the beginning of the summer and you're done with it, but you really try to use the space and put stuff in now that's going to give you some crops and enjoyment into the fall.
And Gail is studying about a 4-season harvest, like how we could plan to harvest something summer, fall, winter, and spring, so it can continue to feed us as it does now, but in a more bountiful way through the year. You'll see these sweet potatoes over here. There are 2 rows that have large numbers of sweet potatoes. They did well last year, and the vines look really happy. And under the ground, they're making sweet potatoes of all different sizes, we hope.
We hope.
We expect.
Please,
That's what they
be
did
making
last
sweet
year.
potatoes. And you'll see marigolds at the end of a lot of rows, and nasturtiums in the middle of some of them, and mint. And those are planted to help repel insects. So we don't have to use, any kind of chemicals to keep insects away. We use our hands and things like marigolds.
We know how to squash certain insects.
Yeah.
And others we feed to the chickens. The chickens love slugs. They really love them.
And this is a big fig tree.
It's got lots of figs on it. If you get close, you can even smell the fragrance of ripe figs, even though they're not quite ripe yet. But we'll have fig jam and fig jelly and fig tarts and all kinds of figs. Here's a more junior version of the same thing. And then we have, 6, 7 blueberry plants that are spent right now, but they produce quite a lot of blueberries this year, and were just planted last fall. We had protected them, as you can see, with a netting in order for the birds to not eat them all.
Did we get a decent crop of blueberries?
We did, Mike. You were away most of June, so or July, so you missed the blueberries. But we've got a great crop of blueberries for the first year. Over here are our strawberries, which we also had a great crop of. And just last week we mowed the strawberries, and Now we're gonna let them grow back, and then we're gonna thin them. They say that that's a good way to like rejuvenate your patch and keep it producing. So it was kind of radical, but that's what we did. And here's more sweet potatoes, a few interplanted okra, and then this is this big plant you see coming down there with the beautiful yellow flowers is a squash called kabocha, I believe it's called. It's a different kind of winter squash than we've grown before, but we're giving it a try.
So come again and visit us another time.
All right.
We'd love to show you around.
Okay, thank you, Gail. Thanks, Kay, for the update.
Sure.
So we're taking advantage of some beautiful relic. It actually was a manure spreader, farm equipment that was on site here when we first moved in, and we moved it over to here and split it into 2 pieces, and then we built around it a trellis so that we could grow hardy kiwis, which were new for us. And you have to have a male and a female, and if you come over here real close, you can see there's actually a couple. This must be a female of little fruit. I don't know if you can get that in there. Can you see that? See where I'm pointing? Those are our first little hardy kiwis, and we're trying to protect them from the deer, so we assume they will enjoy that if they're available. And then we are putting around the inside around the farm equipment. We've put in some bee balm because that'll help strengthen them as they grow up, because they get kind of tall. And then in front we're going to put black-eyed Susans. We have penstemon on the ends. So we're just trying to, and this is some Amsonia hubrichti. We're just trying to create a beautiful space that maybe the deer won't enjoy. We have put garlic around the edges last year, and we've harvested that already. I'm putting some more in as another deterrent to the deer. But this trellis here, you can see it's really coming along. And hopefully, we know that each plant can produce 200 pounds of fruit, which is astonishing. So we're hoping, give it some time and some love and care, that we'll be eating off of this as well as enjoying the view.